In this video, I'm going to run through how we do a cohort analysis in Trevor. Cohort analysis is where you've got a data set where you want to look at a subset of that data compared to the wider data. So for example, in the query that I'm going to run through, I have a beanbag company. I have certain beanbags that are size giant, and those are, obviously you can imagine, more expensive than my other beanbags. So I want to look at my orders of those specific groups versus my wider, my total orders. And I want to see how those orders for giant beanbags are changing over time. And a big reason for cohort analysis is if you are doing something externally that you want to measure and track the impact over time to see, like if I was to run a campaign focusing on the giant beanbags, I would want to see in my query, in my cohort analysis, whether those were becoming a bigger percentage of our total orders over time. So I'm going to start with my orders table, and I'm going to join my products table on here. And then this is actually super straightforward to do in Trevor because we have a count if function. So I'm going to go into my summarize here, and I'm going to count. First, I'm going to count my orders, but only, I'm basically giving this, I'll just call this if giant. I'm going to put a filter on it and say just count them if the size equals giant. So you see these are all of our orders that are, if the product size is giant, so that's great. And then I want to separate them out by the month. And then the other thing I want is the total orders, right? Because these are just the ones that have the product with the size giant in them. So I can add the count for the total orders here as well. And I'll just move myself here. And you can see that each month I have my orders that contained a giant product and my total orders. And then if you want to look at this in a pivot table, which is the way I prefer to, we can see the created at, and it's descending. So it's going to go from September to March, and we can see over time how those are changing. And then the other thing you can do is grab a percentage. So I'm just going to add a new column and do percentage. And it's super straightforward. So, oops, and say my if giant, divide by my total orders, multiply by 100. And there you go, we have the percentage. And then what I can actually do is I don't really need the total orders, so I'm just going to hide this column here, done, and hop back into my pivot table. And now you can see I have all of my orders, and I also have the percentage as well, so I can see how this is changing over time. And again, if I did a particular initiative maybe in August, and I was hoping that that would impact our September percentage for those numbers, I could see that here. So that is how you do a cohort analysis in Trevor. This is quite a straightforward one. If you do have something more complex that you'd like to ask us about or any other questions, just drop us a line on our chat here.